There we go. I'm learning. I'm definitely learning how this works. Error. You need to change the video resolution. The current resolution is 4K, which is not All right. I have some fixing to do. It's mad at me because I'm streaming too high quality. Stream. Let me see if I can fix that. Nope. Cancel. I'm on the Omari setup that I was like showing off in my last YouTube video. So I'm still fixing all the bugs and everything. Are you guys seeing me okay and all that jazz? Is that fine? How's it working? Does this... It seems to be working, right? Good evening. Video plus audio is okay. Excellent. Hey, Bless, how's it going? Hello, Michael. How's it going? Okay, what time is it? We're just about 6. I guess we have a little bit of time to just chat before we get into the technicals. I do have Proxmox ready and loaded. I think I can close that. So we've been making pretty good progress over the past couple weeks. We did get K3s running, Kubernetes. Oh, Cube Control was working on my Mac, but I'm going to have to bring it over to this machine. So that's something to think about. In the meantime, I might as well show off Omari because this is freaking awesome. Okay. This is my new desktop. It needs a little tweaking, but I mean, what doesn't? But I'm finally back on Linux, which is, it's just better to be there. So I'm pretty excited about this. I put out a video recently. Let me see if I can plop that open. Now you're seeing all my YouTube stuff. Where's my video's the third? It's the third one that shows up. So that's pretty fun. I put this out a couple of days ago. What is your age? What the heck? Well, I'm old. And I have been absolutely loving Omari. I've always liked Hyperland. Right, so for those of you who aren't aware, Hyperland is a tiling window manager on Wayland that usually people install on Arch Linux or NixOS. But there's a lot of work that goes into setting up a tiling window manager such that it is useful. Because usually it takes a little bit of time to get like any sort of graphical interface for audio, and then you break audio 6 separate times, and then Bluetooth is broken, and all of that kind of crap, right? But if we go through like just quickly on the wiki here, configuring. There's a lot of configuring that needs to get done. And then there's like a bunch of extra applications you need to install on top and all of that jazz. And it's just such a pain in the ass. Omari was put out by DHH, who's like one of the main authors of Ruby on Rails. And I know, like, especially if you're younger, you're probably thinking to yourself, like, Ruby is a boomer language. Nobody codes in Ruby anymore. Well, not entirely. Like, a lot of the internet is actually built on Ruby on Rails. But anyways, he puts out Omari, which is this like pre-configured Arch Hyperland setup, and it's awesome. Like, it just gets so much of that crap out of the way, and I am loving it. PHP. Yeah, PHP. Ruby is Perl. What's this? Michael says, that's why I'm on GNOME waiting for Cosmic DE. Yeah, honestly, one of the reasons I was so excited about Pop! OS when it first came out, when they first came up with the Pop Shell, was because it was tiling window management without the extra steps, right? Like, you could just, from the comfort of more or less GNOME, which, for all its faults, is a really complete desktop environment that like just works. It doesn't give you a lot of configuration options without like fighting you, because you have to go into that stupid database just to get access to a ton of the features. But yeah, you just had tiling without worrying, and I loved it. But I have been waiting on Cosmic DE for like freaking years, and we still haven't seen any, like, well, okay, we've seen progress, but I'm bored. And I'm not going to use an operating system. Like, if we go over to Pop! OS, I'm not going to use something built on, where's downloads? This guy, right? What's the last version? Download. I'm not using an operating system built on Ubuntu 22.04. Like, it's 2025. I'm not doing that. And so Pop! OS for me has been on hold for a long time, right? Like, I don't know what to do with it. And so, yeah, it was time for something new. I'm excited about this, and that's pretty sweet. That's the deal. I'm going all in on Omari. I'm really considering making some contributions to their Git repo. I think that would be super cool. Maybe something I can do live at some point. I tried out Alpha 7 on NixOS yesterday. It worked, but it felt very unstable, even more than Hyperland. Yeah, that was the experience I've been sort of seeing as well. Is like, you're just sort of, it's not done. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not complete. And so, I don't know. It's been waiting for too damn long for Pop! OS to be ready. And I'm... I don't know. I feel like... How are we still waiting on this? That's what I feel like. I feel like, how are we still waiting on this damn thing? So, those are my thoughts. I'm just setting up. I've got this new... Check this out. Hold on. Let's see if I can navigate this. One of these days, I'm going to figure out a better way to handle this camera nonsense. But I've got this little streamer mini monitor that I'm rocking. And that is helping a lot. Because now I don't have to, like, flick back and forth. And if there's ever something where I'm like, I really need to just make sure I'm not about to dox myself, I can do that quickly. I'm actually going to let's walk through a little bit before we get into. We're gonna do Proxmox Home Assistant OS VM configuration today, which is a great way, a great thing to test this setup on, because I will probably want to check that I'm not doxing myself first before launching that. There we go. So, anyways, I'm just going to do some quick configuration. Hyper, and we're going to go to, is it monitors? Yeah, because I've got my workspaces here. And I'm just going to add another workspace for DisplayPort 2. So now I should just be able to pop over. Yeah, excellent. So on workspace 6, I've got... We'll bring you guys with me. On workspace 6, oh, wait, we gotta switch to face. Boom. I've got stream set up, and then workspace 7, I've got a blank workspace that I'm going to be using for just in case I dox myself. That's the deal here. Cool. Excellent. Home Assistant's device discovery upon first launch might tell us a little bit too much about your household items. Yeah, I mean, I've got basically my household items. There's not too much that I'm worried about. Like, I've got a fairly minimal setup here. Like, I've got 3 HomePods that live in the house, right? And then I've also got a couple of smart bulbs, and that's really what we're dealing with. So it shouldn't be too bad, I hope. But I will launch that off screen, and then we'll sort of start configuring from there. Fun thing about Omari is that it uses UWISM, meaning there is better support for System D. Yes, last time I was on Hyperland, I did the UWISM support, and it was a bit of work. So I'm glad that that's done for me, because it's a little bit more stable. Hey, how's it going? So yeah, I guess one last status update, because I do like to yap about the other projects I'm working on, just in case anyone else is interested in similar projects. I have been working on emulation. Actually, let's pop over for a second over here. So over here on Workspace 1, this is my Hyperland config. And if you look closely, I have 3 display outputs here. 3 freaking display outputs, right? And this last one is my TV. I'm actually running HDMI from my computer through the wall over to my TV, technically the AVR. And I've been working on using EmuDeck with Steam so that I can emulate games that I already own, and for hardware that I already own and dumped the firmware to, because we do things legally here. And one of the things that's been most fun, smart TV, UPnP, routers, modems, printers, in my case, it's discovered more than I expected. Interesting. Okay, so maybe my Apple TV will get picked up. Routers and modems will likely get picked up, and that might cause problems, or that might be like a little bit too much info. We'll see. Yeah, definitely going to do that off screen. I have been emulating the Wii lately through Dolphin, and it has been an experience. Because at first, I bought these like knockoff Wiimotes, right? I just went on Amazon, I picked up like a 4-pack of Wiimotes. It was like 100 Canadian, right? And then I find out later, oops, it turned on, that these knockoff Wiimotes actually don't communicate their Bluetooth. They don't communicate their IR camera information in the right format over Bluetooth. And so Dolphin can't read it properly. And so I had to go on eBay and hunt down these like OEM actual Wii Motion Plus remotes from back in the day to get all that IR stuff working. So maybe once I get gaming on Linux working, and we might do some streams on that later. Once I get that working, we might talk about some of this emulation, always with the caveat that we source all of our firmware and ROMs legally. All right? Okay, cool. So that's the rant. That's the catch up. If any of you are interested in any of that content, let me know. How does the IR sensor work using Dolphin? So I have this, I got this like IR bar called Dolphin Bar, right? And so basically it's a little device. It was about 40 Canadian, something like that. And it runs USB to the computer, and then your OEM Wiimotes connect to the bar. And then that has its little IR lights. I do it like this because it's literally a bar with like little tendril IR lights like this, right? And so, yeah, that just sits under your TV, and then you got your Wiimote, and it picks those up, and it syncs to the bar. The bar then ferries the information over via USB, and Dolphin picks it up. Really cool. The Wiimote sensor just needs 2 IR light sources, but does not use it for transmission. You could literally use 2 candles. I read about that, and the reason I went this route is because I've already got 4 Xbox controllers via Bluetooth on this machine, and I wanted the easiest configuration possible. Dolphin Bar with OEM Wiimotes is the least problematic setup that I've read about, and it really is. Like when you go into Dolphin, I wish I had it installed on this Linux setup. When you go into Dolphin, it's phenomenal, right? Like you just select real Wiimotes. The Wiimotes connect instantly to the Dolphin Bar. It's super low headache, and I do enough tech projects with a lot of headache, you know? That's because the original has its own connector, but using a third-party one using USB makes more sense. Yeah, like this company basically made it specifically for Dolphin, the emulator, and so that's pretty cool. Okay, so that's emulation. Let's talk about Proxmox and Home Assistant. Okay, stream looks good. We're all good. I'm just going to see if I can get a little bit better preview here. Sweet. All right. So, well, I don't want that. Let's close. I'll leave it here. Waiting for Nathan Laundry. Nice. Okay. My setup looks good. I'm happy. This is what we wanted. So, here's the deal. For the last couple of weeks, we have been working on setting up Proxmox virtual machine orchestration type stuff on this i7 mini PC. It's got about 20 threads in total, and it's been going really well. On that, we set up 2 Debian-based little nodes that we're using to run Kubernetes. They're not currently live because today we're probably doing mostly virtual machine things. This is all part of my grand scheme to have a full home lab with a NAS and run Home Assistant and Jellyfin and all of that jazz. Actually, I think all my notes, let's go to, yeah, all my notes for the home lab are on my Mac. I've been keeping them in this like markdown document, right? And because this is how I take my notes. So we're going to need to go grab those at another time. But in the meantime, we'll make new ones. So we'll say we'll make a new doc for, I'm going to go with camel case for Home Assistant. And yeah, we're in there. So we're just going to go Home Assistant.md. I'm making a video on lazy Vim. Well, I've made the video. It's going live on Saturday, and we'll talk about that. I'm a huge fan of NeoVim distributions because I have managed my own config for the last almost 10 years, and I'm tired. I am tired of doing that, especially because NeoVim configurations all end up very similar if you're like kind of going the bog standard route for NeoVim IDE experience type of stuff, right? So I don't really care about the specifics too much. I'm just like, get me going. And then I also keep Vim with nothing but like set number and stuff like that. Anyways, lazy Vim on the side here. This is how we keep our notes. For the home lab will be setting up Home Assistant. This is the first time I've ever done Home Assistant, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how it goes. The idea is smart home, but self-hosted. There we go. We got the words. We're saying things. Excellent. Michael asks, what's your opinion on Obsidian for note-taking? There's even a NeoVim plugin for it to write notes in NeoVim. I think Obsidian is pretty cool. I've tried it in the past. Basically, here's the deal. I think Obsidian's fantastic. I think great markdown editor for both the desktop and your mobile device. The Obsidian Sync is really good. I've tried like using SyncThing and other things like that to keep my notes synced, and it's good. It's good. I don't use Obsidian for two reasons. One, I don't use my phone. This is my phone. Let's do a quick. Sorry for everybody who's heard me rant about my phone before, but basically, this is my phone, right? Like I've dumbed it down as much as possible, and the idea is like I don't want to be using my phone. And one of the major drivers for me originally trying Obsidian over just these markdown files in NeoVim was the phone syncing. I can take notes on my phone. I can take notes on my machine. They'll sync. Ooh, awesome. Fantastic. And then I quit phone stuff. So that's like a big reason for me to not use Obsidian. The other thing is when I don't need that, just having NeoVim with markdown files has been plenty for me. And then I also do a lot of my note-taking in these like leather journals with fancy pens. So that's kind of like my other thing. But yeah, I think Obsidian's fantastic. I've used very similar things. I've used like Roam Research and stuff like that when I was still doing my PhD, and they're really cool stuff. Okay. So those are my thoughts on Obsidian. For the home lab, we will be setting up Home Assistant. Let's bring that up. Every time I look up, I get blasted by my ring light because it's like the brightness of the freaking sun. So here's Home Assistant. I've never used it before, so we're going to try things. We're going to try some stuff out. There's a couple of approaches here. There is Home Assistant in a container, and there's Home Assistant operating system. We are going to go the Home Assistant operating system approach in a virtual machine, basically because of the advice of Plus, my trusted advisor in the chat. So I've got some stuff that we're going to talk about. Let's. So we're going with Zigbee things. I don't know much about these protocols. We're really doing a lot of learning together live. What I do know is Zigbee is a way for these smart devices to communicate with each other in a cheaper, easier way than some of these like Wi-Fi or Bluetooth devices, like when you're looking at the Hue Phillips bulbs and all of that jazz, right? So they tend to be cheaper, and they tend to be the preferred approach of Home Assistant folks. I don't know a lot yet, but we'll find out soon. The one-click updates are also a good reason. So when we're looking at the pros and cons of going containered versus Home Assistant OS as a VM, we've got one-click updates over here. And Plus is telling us the one-click updates are also a good reason. Home Assistant updates once per month, and one click can be very fine. And the monthly HAOS core update makes it 2 clicks per month. That's pretty sweet. I'm hoping that it'll be one automated Ansible call away. Anyways, so I'm going to switch back to me face for a moment. This Zigbee USB controller that I picked up off of Amazon. It's about this big. It's got a little antenna guy. And I'll be plugging that into the VM, into the mini PC that is running the VM. So that'll be fun. Hopefully, we'll figure out pass-through and things like that. How hard could it be, right? For the add-ons, Plus says, since you want to use Grafana, a timescale DB or influx DB as HA add-on will come in handy. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Getting some of that time series data will be really cool. I wonder, maybe one day, this is like me just blathering on. I think it would be really cool to try to do some machine learning on my own data at some point. Anyways, okay, let's put this thing back on my desktop and see where we go. So, what are the steps that we're going to need to do? The plan. Get Home Assistant OS installed on Proxmox, right? So that's step one. So we're gonna download the ISO to Proxmox, make a VM, go through the install process. Probably that. Next up, figure out how to pass the Zigbee USB hub thingy to the VM. Cool. One thing I'm just going to ask quickly before we get into that. Do I need to do pass-through before I run the VM? I don't think so. I don't know. If we do, we'll just run it back and see what happens. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. We're just getting started with some Home Assistant stuff. There's green and yellow, and I don't know what this means. Home Assistant green, are these specific devices? Or is this a version of the operating system? Looks like device. Yellow. Foundation of your Home Assistant yellow is that foundation. Yeah, these look like things. USB is hot plug since Windows 98. True. Okay. Yes. Okay, so these are specific devices. I don't care about any of that. I'm just going to go to Linux, download the appropriate image, create the virtual machine. Oh, they tell us exactly how much we need. These are minimum recommendations. Raspberry Pi or an Odroid. Can I get an ISO? Or do I have to use this thing? I mean, I suppose that's fine. I'm sure there's an easy way for me to just upload this in to Proxmox. How do I get this QCOW2 thingy over to Proxmox? Okay, so ISO isn't the way. I need to use a VM image, KVM QCOW2. So we're going to figure that out. And we'll comment those out. Okay. Those are just devices. They say, are you going to run it on its own VM, Home Assistant OS? Yes, I am. That's the plan. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to chat. Okay, so how does that work? Can I go under OS? There's ISOs. Physical, do not use any media. How do I upload that? I guess we're going to have to do some searching up. Proxmox, install KVM, what is it, QCow2 image? KVM image import. What's up with this? See our migration page. QCow2 should be the native disk image format anyway. Okay. Well, let's start by downloading and see where that takes us. So we load the appliance image into your virtual machine hypervisor. Okay. Virtual box, unraid, KVM, virt manager. Okay. Now, my understanding is that Proxmox builds on top of KVM, like virt manager and that sort of thing. So we probably could just get down to brass tacks on that, but I don't want to be digging underneath these things. Store the image in the ISO share on your server. Okay, that's what they say in Unraid. I'm going to assume it's fairly similar. So let me see if I remember where these things go. We can go ISO image, download from URL, and then maybe we can just grab this and see how it goes. Copy link address. Boom. And we're going to call it HA. You know what? I don't like abbreviating things. I always forget my abbreviations and then I get mad. Wrong file extension. Okay, so it doesn't like that. We can't just download ISO that way. We're going to need to figure out another approach. Well, we did just download it, so we can do custom files, all files. Let's try this. Hash algorithm. Okay, we're going to do some figuring out. They called it HassOS until they figure out what Hass means in German. Is Hass hate in German? Something like that? Okay. Maybe I need to extract it first. Let's take a look. So I'm going to pop open yet another terminal. Make sure we're on the right screen together. We are. Always remember to check the sum. Yes, equals hate. Nice. The one German word I know. Maybe I know more. Okay. So we've got this in a .xz format. What is the XZ format? Well, we're going to try tar and see if that handles it. And if it doesn't, oh, am I not in? No, I'm in downloads. Okay, no. What is the XZ format? Any knowers? Okay, just some other thing. Do I have an XZ? It's installed. Why am I having problems then? Compressed data cannot... Oh, I just read it incorrectly. XZ-D, HAOS. And then maybe I can upload this? Yeah, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. We're going to go upload. And let's try this. We're going to go all files, this guy, select, hash algorithm, this. Uploads are yeah, that's fine. Why is it mad? Uploads are stored temporarily in var/var/temp. Make sure there's enough free space. Do we not? I guess I have to check this first. Okay. You mean xz-d file? Yes, that's what we're looking for. Okay. So, I'm trying to upload this, and it's fighting me. What is happening? Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Proxmox upload.qcow2 file. QM import disk. Do I just have it in the wrong place? What is happening? Oh, all right. You know what? Let's try just SSHing in. Oh, I don't need to do that. I have the Proxmox console. Because at this point, I'm starting to think there's a location on here. Let's go nodes, PVE. I'm going to leave that. Let's make a little bit more room and do this, shut down shell. That can go over there. Okay, so our little thing over here tells us we can go /var/lib/vz, and we have under images, no, cd template. There's ISO, but can I make one just for QCow? Looks like I can, and I can upload it there. Plus, any ideas on that? Does that sound like the right move? VM disks. I should have VM disks. QM import. Okay. Is the name likely to be the issue here? Where are you going? You presumably successfully imported the disk. It now exists in your LVM pool as an LVM slice. Why do you still have the original QCow as part of your VM config? What has this person done? I'm unable to FTP. I've given up. Okay. So if we can just copy this over, put it in QCow, we should be okay. And then we do I'm a bare metal libvirt kvm QEMU user, have not yet migrated to Proxmox. All right. We can figure this out. Okay. So I've got it over here in my downloads, right? And we can probably do an SFTP root at 10.88.111. What's my guy? .34? Yes. Okay. And we're going to cd/u/var/lib/vz template. We're going to mkdir a QCow area. Whoop, that's not what we wanted, is it? rmqq. Okay, whatever. Mkdir, we want QCow. Okay. cd into QCow. No, not you, Siri. And then we want to, what is it? Put HAOS, this guy here, and see how that goes. All right. I remember a few Linux things. I'm not too bad at this. Okay. So that file should now be here. If we go at local, SEP, yeah. I suppose I should have just gone through SEP. I did not need to do a full thing with SFTP. ISO images. Okay. Okay, so from here, let's go ahead and exit. Now I can go back up to this console we've got going on, and we're going to check QM. Okay, QM import disk. So it looks like I need to make a VM first. I'm just using this from the Proxmox forums. I'm surprised this is not like a first, like a happy path on Proxmox. Interesting. Maybe I'm being silly about it. I don't know. So what is it exactly doing? Storage LVM. Oh. (104) QCow. So I think if I create a VM, I import the disk to it, this QCow thing. Or sorry, I import the QCow into this specific VM's disk over here. So let's try and make a virtual machine and try that out. I'm going to let this be, Kubernetes is going to be ID 300. I guess VMs for specific things will be 300 on. Awesome. So what do I want to name this? This is Home Assist. Can I spell? Okay, great. Next. Do not use any media. Okay, disks. And let's take note of all of these defaults. We're going to put this in our notes. Make a VM. VM configuration. So we're going to say ID 300. Name H Home Assistant OS. And I hate these conceals in fancier VIMs. They always get annoying to me. I will eventually remember how to turn that off. It's like set conceal level. Set conceal level 0? No, set. Yeah, equals 0. Much better. There we go. Okay. So this is what they recommend. I'm going to give it a little bit more juice than that. So we're going to go, what are we saying here? We are calling this, we're just going to say RAM. RAM, let's give it at least 4 gigabytes. Oh, I need to turn off that snippets thing. This is a lot going on. For CPU, yeah, 2 cores. 2 cores will be plenty. I think we'll stick with this. I will ask, plus, do you think a little bit more juice would be useful, or is this probably going to be enough? Because we are kind of playing with the minimums here. Let's also go storage, and I'll give it 50 gigabytes just in case. Actually, let's make it a multiple of 2 because we're cool. 64 gigabytes. Mine has less. Okay, great. So we're going to give it 64 just in case. OS, we're not going to pass it any media because we're just going to copy into it. For cores, we're going to give it 2. And for this, it's 4096 for 4 gigabytes. We're going to leave defaults, finish. Boom. All right. Okay, so that exists. Now, we haven't launched it, and so I think what we do, there should be a VM disk here now. There is. So we always do our best to take extensive notes because it is so easy to forget what you have done. So VM configuration, that's our config. I want to say installing the QCow to, it's not an image. Is it an image? What exactly is it? What's the correct terminology for this? It is an image. Okay, image. So I just want to say source. Oh, no, that's the wrong format. Let's do it like this. Boom. It's always harder to type in front of people. What is this? Guide for importing. Let's go like that. get that nice markdown formatting going on. And let's also grab this. It's an image like VMDK VMware. Yeah, thank you. Okay, cool. So from here, we've downloaded it. We've put it into, where did we put it? We did a little SCP. So downloaded from the website. Just gonna start doing this. And also, I forget how to set scroll off in Vim. Maybe it is set scroll. Scroll off equals 20. Does that mean? No, that's not what I was looking for. Darn. Okay, download from the website onto Omari. That's this machine. SCP'd it, and let's get the exact SCP command that we would use. And we can steal that from Plus again. So what did we do? We said root. We did SCP. Let's get this in our little backticks. SCP. And we, what's the file name? We don't need that open. CD downloads. SCP HAOS OVA-16.1.Q cow2. After, first we extracted it. Extract using XZ, and it's -D, I'm guessing for decompress, probably. HAOS. Okay. .1, .q cow, .2, .xz. Great. Now, step 2. So we've got the file, and then we say what? Root at 10.88.111.34, and then we put it at var/lib/vz template qcow, and we put one more. Awesome. Okay, so that's what we've done so far. I always like to document the process so that we can share it on my website at some point or on GitHub, so that if you're interested in following the nonsense that I've put together, you can. Okay, awesome. So now we've got this guy. We're going to give that a shot. Import QM, import disk. Now we know it's ID 300, and we're going to take the qcow image here. It didn't like that. Template. So we're currently in template, and then we're going to go qcow. Oh, close. Yep, awesome. Local-LVM. Successfully imported disk. Hey, look at that. All right, and let's adapt this so that you can do it from anywhere on the machine. So instead of this, we're going to go /var/lib/vz. I don't know why I started saying Z. Like I'm not American. All right, great. So I think at this point, this virtual machine, number 300, ID 300, should be launchable into Home Assistant OS. So I'm going to close my console over here. Yeah, you can leave. I'm going to close this terminal, and I'm going to start this sucker. And we're going to hope. That's what we're going to do. Could not read from CD-ROM. It shouldn't be trying to read from the CD-ROM. So somewhere, let's go ahead and stop it. Somewhere in here, the configuration isn't correct. So if we look at hardware, hard disk, why is it trying to read from the CD? But beware, the SCP would not create the qcow subdirectory. Yeah, SCP doesn't have like a super convenient -p type thing, does it? Okay, so what do we got? Is there anything else that would be causing this? Disk action, reassign owner, no. Edit. These are correct. Bandwidth looks fine. We don't need cloud init stuff for this, probably. Okay. I'm going to launch it again and take a closer look. Also, I'm going to run this through Firefox because Chrome gives me issues when I try to launch the console guy. So let's try that again. Let's just grab our tabs over into Firefox. Not this one. Not this one. We want this one. And we'll take it from there. So let's launch start. And then grab our console. Oh, wrong console, right? No? Okay. Booting from DV. So it tried booting from hard disk and it failed. It's not bootable. Okay. SCP-R. Oh, interesting. Okay. So I'm sure there are tutorials on this. So Proxmox Home Assistant OS and C. There we go. Let's try this again. What do we have so far? Expand the compressed image. So we're kind of there. Select your VM name. So we create the VM. System, change machine. Ah, look at this. There's a couple of features that we didn't use properly. This is our problem. The configured HDDs look like the empty one comes first, and there is this unused disks at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to stop this guy. We're going to kill him after he's stopped properly. And we're going to follow this. Okay. So we're going to say led to error. Installing HAOS part 2. I like to also document failures. Because if you do, you can remember why something didn't work, and you can start to reflect on that. And that's sometimes useful. Okay, so let's create the VM as instructed here. More, remove. Okay. So that should kill that, and we're going to try one more time. So we're still going to go with 300. We're going to say we're just going to do that. So do not use any media, right? I was right about that at least. Next up, system. Change machine to Q35. I have no idea what that means. I'm really curious. I440X versus Q35. I just want to know what that is. I understand Q35 supports PCIe, so I can do GPU pass-through. Oh. This is emulated chipset. Interesting. For my setup, where I have a bunch of VMs running Apache and SQL. Okay. So, do I need Q3? So, okay. I'll spend a little bit of time later. Let's do questions. What does Q35 versus I440X give us? Cool. BIOS to OVMF. Okay, so we have UEFI, EFI, select EFI storage, typically local LVM, rather. For Pentium 2. That's a while back for me. Pentium 2. I remember the switch to dual core. My dad and I were really excited about when the first Core 2 Duos came out. And I also remember Pentium I remember something about the Celerons going back to like some changes from Pentium 3 because Pentium 4 didn't have a route forward, but that's as far back as that goes. Okay. We don't want to pre-enroll keys. We have our EFI storage selected. And then the rest should be fine. I'm assuming our SCSI controller is good. And we're not adding TPM. Excellent. Delete the SCSI drive and any other disks. Really? Okay. How does that... There's a garbage bin. That's how you delete it, guys. We're learning. We're learning on the fly. Set minimum 2 cores. Excellent. And we're going to set this to 4096. Leave default. So for network, leave default unless you have special requirements. We don't. Confirm and finish. Okay, awesome. Do not start the VM yet. Good to know. Add the image to the VM. We're going to open up that console again and do our QM import disk. Luckily, right, we wrote that down. Oh, wrong guy. I want PVE shell. So we can actually grab our SCP. Nope, not SCP, the QM import disk. I'm going to type that out again because I want to remember this. QM import disk to 300. We want the file, which is var/lib/vz/template/qcow. That guy. And then we want the EFI location, which is local LVM. Okay. What did I screw up? QM? It's QM import disk. Nice, and that works. Close the nodes console and select your HAVM. Import disk. Nice catch. In the meantime, how's everybody doing? I'm just going to be working away at this, but I love going back and forth, hearing about what you're all up to and stuff like that. So feel free to be chatting in the chat. I will be reading and interacting. Okay, close the nodes console and select your HAVM. So I'm going to close this. We're going to leave page. I click this. That's our HAOS virtual machine. We go to the hardware tab. Okay, select the unused disk and click the edit button. Unused disk. Oh, sweet. Edit. Check the discard box. If you're using an SSD, then click add. Like the main machine is. So I guess. Go to the... Okay. Then click add. Cool. Select the options tab. Select... Any idea why I need to set discard? I don't know what that means. Options tab. Select boot order and then hit edit. Oh. Okay. And I'm guessing we want the SCSI drive at the top. Check the newly created drive and uncheck everything else. Yeah, I don't... so it was trying to boot from this ISO last time because that's what it had. We didn't edit the boot order. Sweet. Finish up. Start the VM, check the shell of the VM. If booted correctly, you should be greeted with the link to the access the web UI. VMIP 8123. Okay. Well, I think we did the thing, so let's try it. I will be right back, by the way. I always drink coffee before these things, and then I also drink water during, and it's like, yeah, what did you think was going to happen? I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So we started up console. Whew, that's the good stuff. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're here for. Okay. So what I'm going to do is open this up for the first time on my second screen, just in case. So we're going to go 10.88.111.48, and we're going to go 818123. That's our port. Okay. I'm going to pop this on screen and then pop it back off again after, because I do want you all to see this, because it's cool. Okay. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to move Proxmox onto another virtual desktop. Same over here. And we've got this. So this is what it looks like when you arrive at the front page, so to speak. All right, I'm going to pop it over again to my other screen just to make sure. We're going to create my smart home. So I'm just creating an account now. Oh, interesting. Yeah, okay. Very glad I'm, just for context, really glad I'm doing this on the other screen right now, because it just asked me for my address. And that wouldn't have been awesome for you all to know. So, yep. Okay. And it's asking for analytics. I'm going to avoid all of that for now, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so it's detected. I'm going to pop this back over so you can all see just a little bit. It's detected my Apple TV. It's detected Matter, Thread, and I'm guessing UPnP, this guy's like sort of my modems and router type stuff. I'm going to pop this again over to my other screen just in case, and then hopefully it doesn't tell you my address. Hopefully. Okay. I think we're okay. Nathan, unknown, assist. This looks like it's fine. I'm just going to make sure I don't actually click anything that gives you my address. And plus, if you're there, let me know. Does it show off my address at any point if you're aware? Obviously, it's not your responsibility to be to know all of these things. So if it does happen, that's not on you. Just checking. Okay. Cool. I think we're fine. I think we're okay. I think we are. Plop this over. Go back here. And we're on the desktop together. Avoid the map menu option. To-do lists, media, history, logbook, energy, map. Okay. Developer tools, settings, notifications. Okay. I'm going to actually check that real quick. What happens when I hit map? Yeah, that's just straight up where I live. Holy. Maybe. Okay. I think what I'll do, there's the dashboard. Can I edit this so it doesn't actually go there? I'm not sure. Avoid the map menu option. Okay, well, settings. Control home went away, devices and services, add-ons, areas, labels and zones, dashboards. Cool. You can click on your user and edit the menu to hide map. I'm going to do that off screen. And then we can get down to business. Hide the sidebar. No. Receive notifications. Apologies about this. I know this isn't the most exciting thing in the world. I just would love to not accidentally show everybody exactly where I live. You know what I mean? You can click on your user and edit the menu. You get a screenshot. You got a screenshot on Discord. Ah, fantastic. Okay. That's fine. Change the order and hide items from the sidebar. That's what I want. Thank you very much. Turn off map. And we should... That should be okay. Okay, awesome. Okay. We should be able to take it from here relatively safely. That's good stuff. Settings. Bedroom, kitchen, living room. So, create area. I don't know where to go with this, but what I want to do is set up my office. So we're going to set up the office. We're going to try that. Do we have work? Briefcase? Sure. Monitor? Yeah, that's work. Floor. I live in a condo, man. It's one floor. Multiple floors? Come on. Come on. Kind of luxury. Okay. So, there are no devices, no automations, no scenes, no scripts. I guess the next question is, how do we start adding devices? Right? Settings. Tags, people, voice assistants, dashboards, add-ons, areas, labels, automation, scenes, devices. Holy! Okay, this is incredible. Are you serious? Okay, add. You are about to add Office of Type HomePod Mini. To add Office of Type HomePod Mini to Home Assistant. Okay, yeah. To complete the process, you may have to enter multiple PIN codes. Please note that you will not be able to power off your Apple TV. Apple TV? That's not what Oh, why does it refer to HomePods as Apple TVs? Weird, but okay. Cool. Yeah, no, that's correct. Oh my god. This is amazing. Okay. So now that's there. I don't know what to do with it, but it's cool. Let's try the lights. So let's go ahead and pop over here. Face cam. These are my Zigbee smart bulbs. They're pretty sweet. And the next step is to see if we can hook them up. Oh my god. How are we going to do that without this plugged in? Like, okay, all right. So I guess that's the next step. Home Assistant super configured. Wow. I am going to have so much fun with this. Are you kidding me? Are you joking? This is amazing. So I'm just plugging things in. One moment. There we go. Okay. So the Zigbee fella is now plugged into the mini PC. The next step is figuring out how to pass that in to this VM. I don't even know where to begin to ask that question. So I'm shamelessly going to ask Claude, and we're going to see what that brings up. If you have a super anti-AI stance, by the way, fair enough. We take a moderate AI stance in this chat. Well, okay, speaking for you guys is unfair. I take a moderate stance. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I noticed your screenshot. That is super cool. Let's take, honestly, if you're not in the Discord, by the way, this is what we talk about. This is what we hang out. Highly recommend you join us. It's pretty freaking fun. So anyways, this is what that looks like when you get really going. Okay. What do I want to do? What do I want to do at this point? Right, I was going to ask Claude. I just plugged in a Zigbee USB home assistant hub thingy into my i7 mini PC that's running Proxmox and a home assistant OS VM. How do I pass the USB guy through to my VM? Let's find out. Hey, how's it going? How you doing? We're just in the middle of trying to figure out Zigbee for Home Assistant, and this has been going pretty well. I also feel like I'm getting better with my Linux. Like my Linux fluency is improving, so I've been pretty happy about that. Okay, so we want to go identify the USB device in Proxmox. Let's make sure we've got our notes. So where is this? I'm going to plop that over onto screen 1, close this. Followed that guide. It was awesome. Cool. So we did that. We got the VM. Zigbee controller pass through via Proxmox UI. That's what we're up to now. So we're going to grab this. What else do we have? Do we do it from the command line? That feels cooler. Glad to see you're on Omari. Dude, Omari is awesome. It is so good. Did you see the video I made about it? Because it is fantastic. I'm having so much fun. It's so nice to be on Linux. I love, it just feels so much better than trying to do this home lab stuff on my Mac. This is so much better. And I've managed to get DaVinci Resolve working not amazingly well, not as good as it was on Windows, but it's pretty decent. Like, it is viable. The biggest loss is NVIDIA codecs, because now my video files are a lot larger. But we managed it. Okay. Honestly, I want to practice my Linux, so I'm not going to go through the web UI. So let's go ahead, grab our console. Nope, wrong console. PVE, shell. It's always shell. Shell for the Proxmox, like actual Proxmox machine. Okay. So what do? We can do a little ls USB action. I'm thinking it's the Silicon Labs UART bridge. Does that sound about right? Silicon Labs UART bridge. Let's check out what we've got. Where did I put the box? There it is. Zigbee 3.0 dongle from... So this is Sonoff. Do we have any... Well, I guess, what are some reasonable questions to ask? Is this thing a UART bridge? What is a UART bridge? I remember reading about UARTs in like a class from second year. A UART bridge, and might that be the controller? Same here? Okay, yeah. Converts between USB and UART serial yes. Okay, I remember now. UART serial communication, which many embedded devices like Zigbee chips use. Think of it as a translator. Okay, cool. I remember that now. So many things coming back to me. Okay, so we do ls USB. Let's do. Nope. Come on now. Nope. 1. There we go. ls USB. Find the Zigbee controller, which gives, we're looking for, what did we get? It's UART bridge. Awesome. 2, the Texas Instruments Zigbee chip is behind, yes. Ah, cool. Okay, what's next? We QM set VM ID, and we just vendor ID, product ID. Okay. So this part makes sense to me. I'm not sure exactly what they mean by this. With your HA VM ID and the vendor/product IDs, so what exactly does that mean? Device ID. So here's our we've got device ID. Ah, it's this. It's this, isn't it? I could probably write a little awk script to grab that, couldn't I? Oh, sorry, this one. Okay, vendor ID, product ID. So, pass the controller through. QM set, and we're gonna say 300. That's our ID. That's our VM ID. USB 0, host equals, and we're gonna grab 10C4 EA60. Okay, and I'm just gonna make a note to myself. Vendor. So in ls, actually, let's do this. Let's do this. I'm gonna copy this. Output. Vendor ID equals C4 and product ID equals EA60. All right, sweet. So let's run that. I'm gonna do a YA backticks, do a super J to jump down, and then do that. Yes, yes. Update. Awesome. Okay, and then we should restart. Restart, and then we'll do a check. SSH into Home Assistant or use the terminal add-on, run ls/dev tty. You should see something like that. Okay. ls usb/grep. That's the guy. Yeah, okay, let me think. So, ls usb grep cp210x or anything else unique to this, right? And then awk, yes, that makes sense because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is awk. No, awk isn't 0 indexed. Sorry, awk isn't 1 indexed. It's that I forget why. 0 is like the command you write or something like that. What's the 0th element in awk when you're doing print? Anyways, okay, we're gonna do that. We'll probably. Okay, let's do this. So we're going to jump back to Proxmox. We're going to, let's go here. And I'm going to guess this is like I can system control this, or can I just do reboot? No. Sudo, I'm probably root. System control reboot? No? Really? Add-ons. Oh, am I in OS? Okay, fuck it. We're just gonna reboot. Sometimes I try to be too clever. 0 equals whole match, like on regex. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is rebooting. I'm actually just going to watch it do that. This all looks like the usual stuff. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave this. We've got this going on. SSH or viewer into the VM and run check if the controller has passed through. Okay, great. This is not a real shell. It's the HA utility. Yeah. I picked that up. I realized. Holy sh... Okay, are we... So it rebooted almost instantly. And then right away, this thing is picked up. Like, what are we doing here? This is incredible. Choose the network settings for your radio. Okay. Terminal and SSH add-on might come in handy, yeah. Okay, well, this seems to be working pretty well. I gotta say, this is kind of amazing. Yeah, we're gonna call that Zigbee fella. So here's an interesting question. I've got Zigbee here, and I need to select an area. Or do I not need to? Oh, I don't. Okay, cool. So okay. Well, that seems to be working. I'm going to put the lights in this office into connect mode, which just requires me to basically turn them off and back on again. And we're going to see what works. I created a network virtual area for such things. Oh, that's smart. That's smart. Actually, I might do that. We'll see. Because I didn't set it, right? There's no area. I don't know if that matters, but we'll find out. I suppose we'll find out. Okay, so add devices, and let's reboot some lights. Okay, so these lights, this is so much better than Philips Hue and that whole thing. Like, are we serious? Okay. Office lamp upper. Oh, right. I'm gonna want to use voice assistant for this sort of thing, so I should give them reasonable names. Office lamp. Let's just do office lamp 1. Office lamp 2. Okay, cool. Transition time, startup behavior. Okay. Okay. So are these just part of my house now? Like this just worked? That's it? Oh, map's not turned off anymore. Let's redo that. Let's go. Where was that option again? So Nathan, change the order. There we go. That was weird. If turning on and off does not work for you, if you have a Philips remote, the 4-button one, press the upper and lower one at once within... Okay. I do have some Philips Hue stuff, so we'll play with that at some point. I don't know how deep we're going to go into this today. Okay, so let's go back to my overview. Sweet. So my HomePod is here. My lamps are here. What is this? Oh, I can turn off the entire office. Like I can disconnect it? Interesting. How does this work? Am I gonna get like DMCA'd for this? How is it this good? Oh, I hit something else. Okay, nice catch. How? I expected this to be harder. Like, what? Okay. Like, now what? I'm just baffled at how easy this is. Voice assistance? I guess. Can I use my Apple stuff? Okay, cool. What is this? Hello? Is this isn't an LLM or something like that. This is just like some rule-based chatbot. What can you help me with? Okay, yeah. Manage assistance. Interesting. Check out installing hacks for a lot of community integrations. Okay, definitely will. You can also add custom menu items and dashboards, graph card is amazing. Floor plan is great. Okay, I'll definitely be looking into a bunch of that. So this is cool. Question. Talking with Home Assistant. Assist allows you to control Home Assistant using natural language. It's built on top of open blah, 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 blah. You can work locally or leverage the greatest LLMs of the moment. Interesting. You can integrate with Cockpit? Are you serious? Okay. Well, first... all right, we're just going to do a quick Claude. Cool. That works. How do I use Home Assistant? How do I use Siri to control my home? Oh. HomeKit integration. This makes your Home Assistant devices appear as native HomeKit devices that Siri can control. Okay. I'm definitely not creating Siri shortcuts. Paid service that enables Siri integration along with other cloud features. Okay. Oh yeah, no worries. Okay, so we probably want HomeKit stuff. Cool. Home Assistant HomeKit? Okay. The HomeKit device integration allows you to connect accessories with the Works with HomeKit logo to Home Assistant. This integration should not be confused with the HomeKit Bridge integration, which allows you to control Home Assistant devices via HomeKit. That's what we want. Okay, the HomeKit Bridge integration allows you to make your Home Assistant entities available in Apple HomeKit so they can be controlled from Apple's Home app and that, even if those devices do not natively support HomeKit. Cool. Would that work? No, wait, right? Yeah, because I haven't set that up. Okay, so we'll try it again, but this time with the actual IP. What is the IP of this? Where's my Home Assistant? Hello? Why didn't that? Weird. Copy. Jesus Christ, this is... I cannot get over how easy this is. HomeKit bridge integration. Oops. Nope. Cool. So we're here. Yeah, I want to do that. Give me all the stuff. Lawnmower? Okay, I don't actually have this many things. Don't have this. Camera? Don't have this. I don't have this. Actually, climate. It's fine. Fan, humidifier, light, lock, media player is fine. Remote. Scenes and scripts. Don't have sensors. Don't have a smart lawnmower? Like, what are we doing here? Okay. To complete pairing, follow the instructions in notifications under HomeKit pairing. Okay. It's easy and free. If you install the Home Assistant Android app on your phone, it's not only showing a mobile optimized UI, it also becomes a sensor and location tracking on the map. Huh. Is there an equivalent for iOS? There is. Dude, I am converted. This is amazing. I have legitimately been having so much more fun with tech ever since I started streaming. Like, just so much more fun. I don't know what to say. Like, the entire process, I've been exploring more. I've been solving problems faster. So much, like, thanks to the team. Will it be possible to use voice commands to activate your home entertainment room to gamer mode? Holy shit, you're probably right. There's probably a way. Okay, so I've got the Home Assistant app on my phone, and it's freaking awesome. You can connect Home Assistant to N8N and automate everything. Huh. I'll have to look into that. Into more stuff. Yeah, this app is really slick. This is pretty great. Okay, cool. So I can just turn off the Office, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. That's awesome. Okay, sorry, let's finish what we were up to. HomeKit. I guess I go to Home, and there should be some sort of thing here. I'm not going to apply it. Homebridge. Do I just add it to my home? Add new home? No. Add accessory? Add room? Add people? I'm going to assume accessory. Okay, hold on. Let's try this again. Oh, that's my TV. Cool. I don't know what this Google Cast is. Oh, probably also my TV. Okay, so let's try this one more time. Yes. Cool. Yes. Okay. Domains. So we have switch, sensor, so these, media player, light. I'm guessing I can just update this again later if I want to do more things, right? If you want to use Home Assistant on your phone when not at home, there are free alternatives to Home Assistant Cloud. Cloudflare Tunnels, Auto SSH. Yeah, I'll probably go the Tailscale route for that. That's been really good for me lately. Okay. Homebridge, skip and finish. So this exists. Now what? what do I do with this? Okay. HomeKit bridge can be auto-discovered by Home Assistant. If an instance was found, it will be shown. Okay. What do I do next? Okay. Here we go. To enable HomeKit bridge integration in Home Assistant, add the following to your configuration file. Okay, so we did automatic setup. After the setup is complete, you should be able to control your Home Assistant integrations through Apple's Home and Siri. It's not automatically done, right? Like that, it can't be that good. It can't be that good. Oh, there we go. HomeKit pairing. I probably shouldn't have that on screen. It's also probably too late. Okay. Bridge added to my home. Office lamp 1. Office lamp. Okay, cool. This seems to be working. Just creating new pairing QR. True. That way it won't have a problem. Okay. I'm going to skip some automations. In general, it's better to avoid changes to configuration YAML. Sooner or later, an HA update will tell you line XY on your YAML will be deprecated in a few months. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's my general preference as well. I love when I don't have to adjust things. The more I can leave defaults, the better. Sweet. Switch. I don't know what these switches are. Power, play, okay. Okay, so the lights are working. Nathan lives with a ghost. All right, let's try something. Hey Siri, turn off office lights. I stuttered.
Sorry, I can't handle combined requests.
Yeah. Hey Siri, turn off office lights.
Okay, the office lights are off. The reading lamp and the desk strip are not responding.
Yeah, we're going to fix all that later. Hey Siri, turn on office lights.
Okay, the office lights are on. The desk strip and the reading lamp are not responding.
We're working on that. We're working on that. Okay, hold on. So, check this out. So, these are my lights. Hey Siri, turn on... Shit. Hey Siri, turn off office lights. Haha. Hey Siri, turn on office lights. Hey Siri, make the office lights red. Holy shit, it's better than Siri. It's better than you. This is so good. This is phenomenal. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is something. All right, let's set them to some nice warm colors. We'll do a nice orange one and a blue one. Okay. So that's Home Assistant, the very basics of it. What's left? I mean, what isn't left? How does Hue integration work? Let's ask. Where's my boy Claude? Claude, how do I get my Philips Hue stuff working with Home Assistant, preferably via Zigbee, not the Hue hub. Let's find out. I would love to skip the hub. Awesome. Okay. Choose your Zigbee integration. Built into Home Assistant, simpler setup, good device support. Since Hue bulbs can only be paired to one Zigbee network at a time, you'll need to reset them. Touch link if your coordinators. Some coordinators. Okay. 3. Power cycle method. Turn bulb on off 6 times quickly. Initiate a repairing using the Philips remote while the device discovery in HA is running. Okay. Okay. Well, where is my Philips Hue stuff? I have a bunch in a bag somewhere from the move. Okay. So we've got a bag of stuff. This is Hue. What do we have? Okay, power adapter for another N100 machine, the one I lovingly called Chewy. Okay. Power adapter for what we refer to as the fish bowls. Also, shout out to my dad for sitting down with me, spending, God, like hours labeling all these things so that I wouldn't lose them during, like, pre-move. That was very helpful. It's a little N95 machine that I will use for something at some point. Okay, so I've got 2 Hue dimmer guys, and ideally power off the hub while doing this, so HA comes first. No worries, the hub's not on at all. I didn't reset up the Hue bridge because I knew I was going to do this with the Home Assistant stuff. Okay, so this is the Hue power strip. What else is in here? Like a power cable. Power for this. Lots of power. Okay, so I have power for the fish bowls. Where are the fish bowls? Hold on, team. I'm going to go fetch the fish bowls. They're somewhere. I know they are. One sec. Do you know? Okay, sorry. My girlfriend is pointing at me through the door. And she's pointing at me. Oh, never mind. I thought she was answering my question. She just wanted her headphones. Do you know where the fish bowls are? The Hue fellas. There's one. The fish bowls. See? Fish bowls. Okay. Why does my Wii remote keep turning on? Okay, so this is power for one fish bowl. Do I not have power for the other fish bowl? That'd be kind of sad. What else we got? Probably somewhere in here. This is Chewy. This is Philips Hue. Oh, this probably works with the fish bowl. I have no idea. We're just going to try some stuff. I wonder if these still have battery. These remotes have been sitting here for a very long time, just chilling. So I may need to, I don't know, do the thing. This one is good if you have one. What is this guy? Thank God Plus has the rights to share links now. Hold on. I'm just going to plop this over here. Dimmer switch. Yeah. So I've got 2 dimmer switches. And I'm just not sure if I have batteries in them. So hopefully we do. I'm missing something. I'm missing chat. There we go. Okay. Let's throw that back over here. Boom. Okay. Well, let's power on one of the fish bowls and see where that takes us. Right? I am out of outlets over there. Oh my God. I'm always out of outlets. This is one of my biggest problems. Okay. So, fishbowl. Come on. There we go. Fishbowl number 1, powered. Powered. Now, what are our steps? Is this going to work? Nope. On and off buttons. There are not... Whoa. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Maybe start discovery mode in ZHA first. So, we're going to go here. We're going to go to... Why does map keep coming back, man? Let's go. Edit. I hid developer tools. That's why. Save. There we go. Overview. I'm still learning how to navigate this. Home Assistant Energy. Oh, this is cool. I don't know how to do that yet, but we'll figure that out. Media. To-do lists. Developer tools. Settings. Devices and services. Okay, cool. And we're going to go to our Zigbee guy. I'm going to try add device. Sweet. Searching for Zigbee devices. Awesome. Now, remember to hide the map menu navigation again. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. So what do we do here? Oh, let me jump back to my face, or back to my desktop. I've been all looking at my face. I need to reset them. Hold dimmer switch close to the bulb. Press and hold the on and off button simultaneously. There's only on. If your coordinator supports it. Some coordinators can force reset hue devices. Available in ZHA, developer tools, services. Okay. This doesn't seem to be working, and I'm guessing it's because my remote is just super dead. So that might not be the play. Power cycle method. Turn bulb on and off 6 times quickly. Leave on after 6th cycle. Yeah, it means the upper and lower button. Okay. Let's just try it. No, it's labeled hue. Okay. I'm not sure. I think those are dead. I think those remotes need some new batteries. In the meantime, what else we got? I know I have a hue bulb somewhere. The question is, where did I put it? Where did I put it? I think I put it in the living room. Okay, well, I can't really do much about that right now because we're on stream. I think maybe I'll play around with this a little bit more off stream, and we might call it here for specifically these lights and things like that. Start playing around with hue. Oh, cool. I don't know how to turn this off anymore. Maybe if I just keep pressing the button, it'll eventually, or maybe it'll just cycle through things. Power off plus on for a few times also works, but is more random. Yeah, I'll deal with that later. Okay. Anything else we can play around with for now? We'll set, let's actually, you know what? Let's set a couple of to-dos. So this seems to just work. So that's nice. What are our next steps? Excuse me? Next steps. We want to do hue stuff. Right? Get all the hue bulbs working. What else might we want to do? We've got hue bulbs. What kind of Home Assistant stuff can we get up to? Give me some ideas for Home Assistant integrations. Like, I don't even know what's possible. You know what I mean? Like, what do we got? We can add my Apple TV 4K. Like, what does that do? Why would I do that? What does it give me? Custom dashboards. Okay, cool. What about Matter? Like, so many interesting things. What is this? Wow. So I can just get a bunch of information about my iPhone at all times? Huh. I use it for Ambilight for the stuff on screen. What is that? Ambilight. Decline all. Wait, is this like the Hue Sync stuff, but like free and open source kind of thing? Is that what we're talking about here? Ambient extractor. Like color extract. This integration will extract the predominant color from a given image and apply it to a target light. Okay, so yeah, it's just like hue sync. Super cool. Okay, cool. Let's try that. Ambilight for home theater. Hue sync. Type of thing. Interesting. But free, this one needs to be able to get the screenshots of an API to the device. Okay, what are the odds I could get that to work with my Blu-ray player? It's an idea. Let's do, aside from next steps, call it pipe dreams. Ambilight / hue sync type thing for 4K player. Was easier with Xorg. Wayland is slow at screenshots. Really? Didn't know that. Okay. What are some other ideas? Weather service for automations in dashboards, air quality monitoring. Oh, my girlfriend's going to like that one. Air quality monitoring? Blu-ray player might be hard. Enigma 2 SAT receivers is absolutely... okay. Interesting. Yeah, Blu-ray players are really a pain in the ass. Moon phases. I'm okay without that. Like family location. It's only 2 of us right now. Lighting and switches. Custom LED strips. Smart plugs would be interesting. What would I want that for? Some ideas. Smart plugs could get us some of the way to like automated gaming stuff. So that could be cool. I know my dad's working on Frigate. He was in chat, by the way. Plex for media, Spotify for music control and automations. Okay. So Plex for media server integration. I think, yeah, we definitely want media server integration type stuff. Like Spotify / Apple Music through Home Assistant. I don't know why yet. And then definitely we're going to want to integrate Jellyfin and all of that guy through here somehow. Don't know exactly what we're going to do, but we'll see. Energy. Okay, I mean, energy monitoring. Yeah. Energy monitoring. How do we do that? I'd love to know how much power stuff draws. That would be really cool. Yeah, there's hacks. There's all of hacks. Visual automations. Grossy for inventory? No. Tesla. I love that Claude thinks I have Tesla money, you know? I also have the mold protection in use. Needs humidity and temperature sensors in the room. Huh. Okay. Can take a look at that. Commute tracking. Cool. That's kind of cool. Fuel prices for nearby station. Garbage collection. Plant moisture monitoring. Vacuum robot integration. Notifs. I hate notifications. I don't want that. Text-to-speech announcements. Okay. Best way for energy monitoring is Shelly. You can also use the counters from Tasmota plugs for single devices. What is Shelly? Home Assistant Shelly. Shelly. Integrate Shelly devices into Home Assistant. What is that? Yes. Canada. The best just got better. Smart home automation with advanced solutions for comfortable living. Shelly Smart Security Bundle. Shelly Flood. Shelly 1. Wi-Fi relay switch. Okay, so these are a bunch of interesting things. I just installed Linux Lite on the oldie laptop. Now it's snappier than MX Linux, but I don't know if it's any faster. I've been playing around with some stuff lately. I just switched this setup to the Zen kernel. I don't know much about... I know apparently that gives me better real-time, like, better responsiveness during use, but I don't know exactly how. But that's something I want to start looking at, is like, what can we play with here? Like, what's going on down there in the kernel? I would like to know and start messing around with it. Smart switch with power monitoring. Okay. 1 p.m. versus 1... Okay. Let's take a look. This is Shelly. Oh, I wonder if I can do that in the condo I'm renting. Like, I would be kind of surprised if they were chill about this. You know what I mean? Also, I don't know if I have the electronics background for all this. But it's something to think about. Okay, let's throw that under pipe dreams. Shelly for smart electricity stuff monitoring. It's kind of interesting. Definitely interested in the ambient stuff. We've got HomeKit. What else might we want to do real quick while we're here? Well, while we're here, I might as well grab the rest of the things. So we can go devices and services. I'm going to grab my living room HomePod Mini. Yep, and that's going to go in the living room. Whoops, living room. It's the living room and the kitchen, by the way. Bedroom. Yep. Sweet. Awesome. I'm really looking forward to figuring out what I can do with this thing, because it is pretty freaking sweet. I'm not sure where we're going to go with it yet, but I'm very impressed. Like, the detection is so much better than Hue and HomeKit on its own. Like, this is just awesome. So awesome. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, look at that. I mean, I'm going to have a lot of fun with dashboards. I could see myself doing something like dashboards for my mailboy notifying me it's worth looking into. There's a contact sensor. contact sensors at all windows and doors. It switches heating to minimal in winter when something is opened. Oh, it's kind of cool. Okay. I'm definitely going to be playing with dashboards. So here's something that I have. This is what I use for... I'm going to pop that off while I log in. This is what I use for checking my website stats. It's called Umami. I picked it rather arbitrarily, to be honest. Oops. Why is nobody visiting my website? Damn. No, I'm kidding. I don't really care that much. I wonder if there's a way to get this to feed into Home Assistant, just to make this like, dashboard for everything. Grafana, showing off all of my various PCs and things like that could be super fun. Okay, I think the sun. What is that? I think I will be calling it for tonight. I think we got some really good progress here, right? We basically managed to get Home Assistant running in a VM. It works. I guess that means now I can't be turning off and on my my little mini PC. I need to find a nice home for it soon, because it is currently, hold on, it's currently doing this. Here's my face. And over there, right? Over there, you can just see the mini PC on the floor. Not exactly the ideal home for that device, right? There's also an ISS integration to see the position on the map. That's hilarious. I love that. So yeah, we made really good progress today. I'm really happy about this. Home Assistant works. We got some basic bulbs working. We've got some Hue stuff to fix. I'll maybe do that on stream, maybe do that off stream another time. 1 second. But we're well on our way, right? What's left? We want to do some jellyfin stuff. I think that's probably our next bet, right? So let's go ahead. Home Assistant. This should be... I'll need to fix up these notes and grab the... Sorry, we're not on my face. I'm going to fix up these notes and grab the notes from the MacBook so that we have all of our information. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Jellyfin up next. Then we're going to need to fix the NAS, because all we did was install Debian, and we still need to update it to properly Trixie, not Debian testing. We have a couple of options, actually. I'm curious. What are your thoughts? I'm interested. I wanted to build up the NAS from scratch, just from Debian. We're going to do ZFS boot menu, all of that stuff. That was my idea, right? But we could also try the TrueNAS scale approach or Open Media Vault or something like that. I don't know. What do you think? I'll play around with it. I'm pretty sure I'll go the Debian approach just for funsies. Also makes it easier to build it into Kubernetes, right? As like a, what do they call it? Like a PVC or something like that? Yeah. So I'll probably end up going that way. But we'll see. Okay. So we're going to go homelab.md. I'm just going to re-grab a bunch of my thoughts on this. Homelab index. So currently have Proxmox installed on the i7 mini PC. 2 working Kubernetes nodes, K3s, right? That's up and running. We have Home Assistant in HAOS with Zigbee USB pass-through. It's pretty sweet. What else do we... I think that's where we're at on the Home Lab, right? I guess there's my Linux desktop. I'm counting it. I don't care. And next steps. We want a NAS. We want Jellyfin. What else do we want? Grafana. Okay, I actually don't know. I've heard about Prometheus and I've heard about Grafana. Tell me what Grafana and Prometheus do and how they're different and or work together. I've heard about these things. I'm interested in analytics, right? For my whole thing. So these tend to come together in the notions of analytics for your system. Prometheus is a monitoring and alerting system. It collects and stores time series metrics, which is what Plus was talking about earlier. We're going to want time series stuff as a plugin via hacks through Home Assistant. Okay. Focus on reliability and simplicity, blah, 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 whatever. Cool. Grafana is a visualization and dashboarding platform. So does that mean we feed a bunch of time series metrics into Prometheus and then that gets fed into Grafana? The most common setup is to use Prometheus as the data collection and storage backend, with Grafana as the front end for visualization. Okay, Prometheus gathers all your metrics, and Grafana connects to Prometheus as a data source to create dashboards that display those metrics in charts and graphs. Cool. Can I feed Grafana? I use Promtail to Loki to Grafana. Oh, Promtail. Promtail is now deprecated. Well, looks like you'll be upgrading soon. This means Promtail will know blah, 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 LTS. Okay. It's an agent which ships the contents of local logs to a private Grafana Loki instance. Okay. Grafana Loki. Loki is a it's horizontally scalable, highly available, multi-tenant. But is it blazingly fast? This is for logs. Okay, cool. Inspired by Prometheus, it is designed to be very cost-effective and easy to operate. It does not index the contents of the logs, but rather a set of labels for each log stream. Okay. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. We're going to have some fun, man. This home lab's going places. I can feel it. Like we're just a couple of weeks in. And we've already gone from nothing, right? We've gone from nothing to Proxmox running, Kubernetes with nothing on it, but we'll get there, Home Assistant, and an Omari desktop. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. For metrics, I used to use InfluxDB2, but TimescaleDB is the better choice at the moment. Okay, very cool. All right, gang. That was this week's stream. This was super fun. I'm very, very impressed with Home Assistant, and I'm really looking forward to... I tried to save. Really looking forward to next week when I guess we'll either configure the NAS or Jellyfin. The Jellyfin's going to be disappointing if we don't have a NAS. Yeah. Jellyfin's going to be disappointing if we don't have a NAS, so I think maybe next week will be the NAS. Yeah, and we'll take it from there. Okay. Thank you all for coming, for watching the show, for participating, for all your help. You've all been awesome as always, and I hope to see you next week and throughout the week on Discord. I'll also be dropping a video on Saturday on lazy Vim and NeoVim distributions in general. So if you're into Vim and that kind of thing, then that'll be fun.